Hallelujah. Shalom, shalom. Kodem kol, Breshit, Birtzoni lachalo kavod leyo Yahuwah, Abba ben Ami HaMashiach, Nisichav, Sarav, Aturav, Kol Kasidav Malkud Yo Yahuwah, Ani mevarech otchem, Shalom, Chag Sameach, Uvraka. Hallelujah. Shalom Uvracha, Chag Sameach Umodim Lesimcha. עכשיו היום בעונה של פסח, הזיכרון, אני רוצה לעשות לכם שיעור בנוגע לפסח, הזיכרון, תולדותינו. First of all, giving all praises and all honor unto your Yahuwah. You are the supreme power in all of creation. You are the Yahuwah, the supreme one. And unto his most holy son, our father Ben Ami, the anointed one, back at Jerusalem. At this season, also giving honor unto the princes, the ministers, the crown brothers and sisters, who are the divine governing body of the kingdom. And to all saints, I greet you all in holy day greetings, Chag Sameach, and also Moedim L'Simcha. Blessings and peace be unto you in good health. Well, today our lesson is a lesson for the holy season, the first holy day of the year, called Pesach in Hebrew, or Passover in English. Pesach HaZikaron, the memorial Passover. So, we're going to get started. And in the book of Exodus, as it's called, Exodus, the story is recorded of the birth of our father Moses, or Moshe in the Holy Tongue. But the name of the book is Shmot. And Shmot literally means names. Speaking of the name, Shmot means names. And so, what we're going to do is get started. And we want to start off, first of all, with the name Shmot. Okay? This is how you say it in the Holy Tongue. Now, I'm writing in script. So for those of you all who don't know script, you have to get some of the other DVDs and some of the writings from the Holy Jerusalem Writers Conference and from the Jerusalem, from Dimona, the Hebrew community, as well as other writings, Hebrew, and you can learn these letters. This is the name Shmot. Okay? And Shmot literally means names. Okay? Names. Shmot. So, it's important that we understand these names in this Hebrew culture. It's important that we understand these names in our history. As the Holy Father has said, when history is errant, then the people will fail. And the people without the knowledge, proper knowledge of their history, is like a tree without roots. This is what we want to do. We want to make it real clear in this season. Shmot. Now in the book of Shmot, we talk about the Passover or the Pesach. But before I go into the story and the explanation of the Pesach, I want to talk about the names. One of the main characters, or the main character, that is spoken of in the book of Shmot is the Holy One himself. Everything evolves around the Holy One, Yahuwah. Okay? Now, in the book of Shmot, Exodus, chapter 3, I want to read it. We talk about this meeting between our father Moses, okay, or Moshe in Hebrew. And I'll read from the Tanakh in the Hebrew, from the book, the 3rd chapter. And this is verse 14. And it reads, Vayomer Elohim el Moshe, Aheedyah asher Aheedyah, Vayomer ko Tomar livnei Yisrael, Aheedyah shalachani elechem. And in the English translation, but not as precise a translation as I want. And God said unto Moses, I am who I am. And he said, thus you shall say unto the children of Israel, I am has sent me to you. Aheedyah asher Aheedyah. Now, I'll spell that. Okay? This pen, ready? Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey. Interesting. Some of you will see it from the beginning. Okay? Aheedyah, Asher, Aheedyah. Now, Aheedyah, this is the way it's written. Aheedyah, Asher, Aheedyah. Okay? This is just a repeat of this. Okay? Aheedyah, Asher, Aheedyah. Asher. Okay. Now, this is the name when Moshe asked the Holy Father, who shall I say has sent me? What is your name, in other words? And the Holy Father said, say unto them, Aheedyah, Asher, Aheedyah. Now, the name we've heard for years, seasons, Yahuwah, Yahweh, Jehovah, different pronunciations. But I want you to see the history of this relative to this high holy season of the Passover. Now, here we are. In the Holy Tongue, there's a word for past, there's a word for present, and there's a word for future. Past in Hebrew is this word. I'm going to write it over here so you can kind of see the suit. Okay? Haya. Okay? Haya. And Haya means the past. Okay? Or you can say was, that which was. Okay? And then we have another word for present tense. Or this is like past tense, and we have the present. Okay? Okay? This is Haya. So, present tense. Here's the word in the Holy Tongue, Ivrit, this African Edenic language, for present. Okay? That appear here. Yeah, okay. Okay. The main thing I want you to pay attention to, I'm putting the vowels here, but the main thing I want you to pay attention to is the consistency of these letters. This is Hey, Hey, this is Yud. This is Vav. This is Hey and Hey again. Present tense. Okay? Now, we're going to go to the future tense. Okay? Future. And that is Yihye. Okay. Yihye. That's the future. Or the other word is will be. No. Will or shall be. Will or shall be. Now, you can see something here. There's a consistency. There's a consistency. Aheedyah, Asher, Aheedyah. Now, past, Haya. Present, Hove. Future, Yihye. Okay? And from this, you see there's a Hey, 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 Hey. Yud, Yud. Now these letters Hey, Yud, the Yud and the Vav are interchangeable. Now down here toward the bottom, it's going to change back to something. And this is the name that many of us have been hearing. Okay? All right, here we go. Yahuwah. Get that up there. Okay. Okay. It's been written like this in the Tanakh, so I write it the way it is. Okay. Yahuwah. Okay. Yahuwah described as Yah, the creator. Most of the times, Yahuwah, but in also this word here. eternal. Vitally important that we know this in the season of the Passover. You can see again, Aheedyah, Asher, Aheedyah, which is described as I shall be as I shall be, or I am that I am. But you can see here, Yahuwah, the meaning of this name. From the past, Hayah. From the present, Hoveh. From the future, Yehieh. And thus you get the name Yahuwah. You see here, Yud, Yud, Hey, Hey. The Yud here and the Vav here. These two again are interchangeable, Vav and Yud, and Hey and Hey. Because past, present, and future makes up that which is eternal. In this season of the Passover, it's a season for us to pass over to another level of knowledge. I'm going to erase this here and go to some of the other powerful names. This is the main focus. Yahuwah. Yahuwah. And as he introduced himself to Moshe, Aheedyah, Asher, Aheedyah. We're going to change this here a bit, swiftly. And at this time, what we want to do is get to the story of Pesach. Main character again, our brother. This is the book again, Shmot. 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 Shmot means names. Okay? From the singular, shame. Shame is one name, Shmot is more than one name. So we have some Shmot here. Here we go. Okay. This is Moshe. And Moshe means he who was pulled. Okay. From the water. Moshe. Moshe. Now it's interesting that we're talking about the Passover. Last night they had on television Charlton Heston, and they showed him in this scene of the movie called The Ten Commandments. We're going to set things straight about that. Very interesting. That just came back to my mind. Moshe. Moshe. Moshe is the name of the deliverer, of the Messiah of that time, when we were being taken out of captivity in ancient Egypt. Moshe, one who was pulled from the water. But Moshe not only was taken out of the water, but his spirit was that he also was to take the children of Israel from out of captivity. His spirit was to pull us out of the great captivity, Moshe, the Passover. Now, the next one is his brother, the priest, who was a spokesman for Moshe, or Moses. Okay? And his name is Aharon. 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 Which is one who was enlightened, from the word or, which means light. Aharon. Okay? Enlightened. Aharon. Aharon, the brother of Moshe. Aaron, as they say in the English. Aaron. Sometimes I'm going to say Hebrew so that you can get used to hearing this Hebrew language. Okay, I'm going to speak the holy tongue. Aharon or Aaron in the English. Matter of fact, I think I'll write that there for us so people can see it. Okay. Aaron. Okay, in the English. Aaron. Now, these are the names of main characters in the Holy Tongue. Okay? And, stop it for a minute for me. Now here comes the sister, our sister, the sister of Moses, the one who was part of this great plan in getting Moses into the house of Pharaoh. A great, valiant sister. She is, guess who? Okay? Miriam. Her name is Miriam. Miriam, which in English is like this here. I'm going to break it up. Miriam. Okay. Which many say again is Miriam. Okay. Miriam. In English, they pronounce it something like that, Miriam. Miriam. Now, because we were coming out of bitter times in slavery, this is her name. Even the mother of Yeshua, who some call Jesus Christ, her name was also Marie, okay, or Miri, from the same root word, which means bitter, because we were in bitter bondage. Now, remember this word bitter, this bitter bondage, because during the Passover service, or the Passover, the eating of the Passover meal, we talk about the bitter bondage, and we eat bitter herbs. Very significant, these names. Very, very significant. Being pulled out of captivity, being enlightened with the teachings of the law or the Torah, Aaron representing the priesthood and the Torah. Miriam, again, whose name, again, has to do with a meaning of a bitterness. But again, not that she was bitter, but the situation that we were in. And many times in Hebrew thought, people or children are named relative to the conditions in which we are under, to remind us of our history. Our history controls destiny. So we got the main name, Yahuwah, but he introduced himself to Moshe as Aheedyah, Asher Aheedyah. Moshe, pulled from the water. Aharon, enlightened one, the priest. Miriam, the sister of Moses, Miriam, which represents the captivity, the bitterness of captivity. These names are very important in our history. Let me take on the white. Hallelujah. And we're going to go to another vitally important soul, image, and name in this powerful story. And that is the name Yehoshua. Yehoshua. Now, interestingly enough, this name Yehoshua is from the same root word as Yeshua, which means he shall save. Here we are. Okay? He shall save. And Yehoshua literally saved us, because we were in trouble after those 40 years. But Yehoshua brought us on into the Holy Land. Yehoshua. Okay? Yehoshua. These names, again, are vitally important. Not only are these names important, but in the introduction of the book of Shemot, or the book of what is called Exodus in the English tongue, it starts off giving the names of the heads of the tribes. Again, Hebrew titles are very important. It's relative to usually the first thought or the first concept that's being expressed in the book. Pesach, we're in the season of the Pesach. And so we want to move on and talk about this word Pesach. Pesach. Pei. Islamic. Okay. Chet. Pesach. This is the Pei. Pesach. Pesach. Which is called the Passover. Okay. The Passover. In this high holy day season, the Passover. Pesach. The vowels under there. Pesach. Pesach is the Passover. Pesach is called. Okay? Now during this season, as with so many things in the Holy Tongue, most nouns are relative to a verb. Why? Because this is the verb right here. It expresses a powerful action, something that took place. Okay? This is the verb. Right? Pasach. Pasach means to pass over, right? Or to leap. To leap, you can say also, sometimes people say to skip. But that's what took place during that powerful night, that powerful season. The death angel, that spirit of death, leaped over those houses that had that mark of that blood on the doorpost. Pesach comes from this verb, pasach. Pesach, you see it? Pesach, pasach. Okay. Pesach comes from this verb, pasach. And so after this season, we can say pasachnu. Pasachnu. Pasachnu means that we have leaped over, we've leaped forward. In the season of the spring, we're springing forth and springing into powerful action. This is a season where we're going to learn a lot more about the power of this holy tongue. The holy tongue called Hebrew. Ivrit in the holy tongue is called Ivrit. Okay? Pesach. Now the Pesach, again, is a very, very powerful season for us. It is a season which is considered the feast of the liberation, the being set free of the children of Israel, which goes right into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Okay? Now, relative to what they call leavening, okay? Chometz or chamotz. Okay? Here we are right here. Chometz. Okay? And chometz. Chometz. Chometz is leaven. Okay? Or leavening. Now, this chometz is relative to us running out or having to flee out of captivity at a time when it was vital that we move quickly. And so we did not have time to allow the bread to puff up with leavening or yeast, you might say at that time. Today we have yeast at this time. Chometz or chamutz. Another word, chamutz. Chamutz. Same word. So, important that we understand these words. These are the words that are written in the Tanakh in Hebrew. But we have the English translation. And this here, again, is something that causes a leavening, a rising, a puffing up. This season, we want to get the leavening out of our hearts. Pesach. Something that makes us fit in the eyes of the Creator. Qualified in the eyes of the Creator. I have it written on this other board here, so we're going to turn our attention here. Okay, I'm going to first of all write it out for you here. Let me do that again. The word, I'm going to just write it in here. Kosher. Get my writing together. Kosher. Okay? Kosher. Many times you hear this word, you see it on boxes in stores, you see it on all kinds of edible or drinkable products, food products in stores. It's called kosher. Now, most people think that kosher is a Jewish word, but it's written in the Tanakh. And the Tanakh is written in ancient Hebrew. Ancient Hebrew, which the Webster Dictionary says, is an Afro-Asiatic language. And you can do your homework yourself. So this word is not someone else's word. Kosher. This word, and stay here, kosher, is a word that belongs to us. So we must repossess our language. We must repossess our culture. And we must understand what it is that's being said. Now, you can see here, if you can zoom in possibly, the word kosher. Kosher. Kosher is pronounced. Kosher. Now, these are some of the definitions for the word kosher. Okay? Legitimate. Fit, which I underline because it's important. Okay? Wholesome. Pure. Qualified. Honest. Worthy, which I put the Y in parentheses and in red because the root of it is worth. And true. Now also these are some additional words that go along with it. To succeed or successful. Kosher. To be kosher also means to be fit. To be fit for consumption. It does not have to do with blood being drained out of meat. Okay? At that time that was what they were doing. But that simply was a system of what they were calling to make it qualified or fit for consumption. Because again, eating of that animal blood changes your chemistry. And we'll talk about that some more later. But kosher is our word. In particular, I like the word fit. Not only fit for consumption. In the Holy Land, in Israel, a weight room or an exercise room is called cheder kosher. Cheder kosher, which means a fitness room, an exercise room. Keder or cheder kosher. So this again is one of our words. We have to feel comfortable enough to repossess our language. And in repossessing our language, we repossess that divine African Hebrew thought pattern. We activate energies in the creation as well as in our own bodies to come to another level of power. This language is a language of power. This history is a history of power. The Pesach, a season for us to leap forward, to spring forth, and to spring into action for the Holy Creator. This word kosher is not someone else's word. It is again your word, Hebrews. We must repossess this language, repossess this history again. Kosher, kosher le Pesach. Okay? We have to be fit for the Passover and be fit in the eyes of the Creator. Yehoshua, when we were found fit after 40 years, we had qualified, we were certified enough to be able to cross into the land and to repossess that special land called the Holy Land, the land of Israel. In this season of the Passover, it's important for us to understand these powerful words. It's important for us to understand this powerful history. These words, which are names as well, to make us free, because the truth will make us free. Toda Rabah, Chag Sameach, Modim L'Simcha, Pesach Sameach.